what's happening? I said, what's happening? Alright, so we're going to cook some food.
Is this not your kitchen?
This,
Oh yeah, I think the first rule of cooking is wash your hands, right?
yeah, I already done that.
Are you sure? Because
Yeah.
we just came out of the bathroom together and I didn't.
Scratch my bum.
I think the second one is put your apron on. You definitely need to put your apron on, yeah? Even better. There you go, nicely done. Okay, so we're gonna have cornflakes.
Well, I'm going to make this one up. This could be something else. It was supposed to be what we were cooking, but obviously not. They didn't get the ingredients list.
When life literally gives you lemons.
You make tequila.
Yeah. So what do you have in mind for us today? What are you going to make for us?
I'm going to tell you how to cook an Irish stew. Keep it very simple.
Just like Mammy used to make.
Just like Mama used to make. This stew is kind of different to a proper Irish stew. My stew is, we would call this like a dairy stew.
Okay.
Because people in Derry couldn't afford the cuts of beef like this. So what we would use is, in Derry there's a local butcher's called Doherty's Butchers. Use minced steak or minced beef. Actually, the cheaper mince works better because there's a bit more fat in it. And it tastes nicer even though it's not good for you.
Yeah.
But that's for later on. We should have potatoes here, which we don't have. So,
Which I find hard to believe.
which is the main ingredient in a stew. So,
Of course.
we might just make burgers or something. Improvise. Story of my life. So what you should have first is onions. Everything's cut up for me too here, so I'm going to have to really milk this. I was going to cut the onions up and stuff, but
Just make the noises.
let's just make noise. So what you do is you put a bit of oil in the pan. It's very simple. Let's do it the big one. I don't know what the two of them's here for, so just a bit of oil in the pan.
Not too much. Was that about two
Onions.
teaspoons? There you go.
Get your onions going. Alright? You got that?
Yeah.
Very simple.
No one has notepad and pens out. You could record it, I suppose. Absolutely.
We're also going to make a bit of beef stock, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat up some water. Show you how to make a stock. Get this going.
I'm
See
lost
what
already. Heat up water?
happens. Do you know how to boil water? Do you burn water?
I do.
Alright, so we're going to make some beef stock. So what we do is you add your water in, you then get your beef stock. In this case, they've just made it up for me. But you can buy it, you get all different types of beef stock. Normally I would use like Trader Joe's do a good one. You just get it in a big packet. It's all organic beef stock, it's really good. This one here though, they've given me bacon and stuff as well, so I'm just going to actually use this all up. This is pretty cool. So with beef stock, why not add bacon? Garlic. My auntie used to have this boyfriend, he was Italian. His name was Vicimo Giminelli. And he was like a Michelin star chef. So I was lucky enough to have him in our house for 10 years. So I learned a lot of tips off Vincenzo. The only one, he was super Italian, so like everything took about 40 minutes to like even boil an egg. He's like, you gotta do the egg, you know. And he'd be like, Vincenzo, I just want a ham sandwich, man. And he's like, well, you know, it's ain't that easy. But
I think that's where Rome wasn't built in a day comes from.
exactly. Rome was not built in a day. Alright, our onions are starting to cook up here now.
Smells good, doesn't it? I mean, if you're not downwind, I'm sorry. I'll just let you know it smells like good onions. But
Oh,
smell.
you're missing out big time.
You're missing out.
Carrots in on top of your onions. Very simple. Basically, this dish is just fire everything in the one pot kind of dish. There's not much cooking to it. I mean, if anybody cooks, That's the way I like to cook. I don't like to cook stuff where it takes like 10 different things they all do together and you have to put them all together. I like cooking stuff so it all goes into one place. And I like cooking food that lasts the whole week. You know? My neighbours will come round and I'm like, you want some food? And this one neighbour, Bowser, he's like, dude, how long's that food been sitting in that pot? And I'm like, week and a bit. He's like, I am not eating that food. I'm like, but honestly, it's going to be fine. I think vegetarian, like, do you make vegetarian dishes?
Good, because I'm a vegetarian.
You vegetarian? Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Why?
Oh, I was a vegetarian for 4 months one time.
Just 4 months.
On the road. It was too difficult not to be a meat eater.
I was dared to do it by my wife.
Is she vegetarian?
Oh no, she eats meat behind my back. And I'm
It's a touchy subject.
This is Cooking with Keith, it's not my counselling session.
So, why did you give up eating meat?
Because like I said, she dared me to do it for a month, and I did, and at the end of the month I felt a lot better. And I was sleeping better, and I wasn't hitting the kids as much. So, you know. Oh, he's had a burger again, run!
Daddy's eating red meat.
Mushrooms and on top of that. No, but I don't know, man. Sometimes I don't eat meat as well. Like for a week or two might pass where I don't eat meat.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think when you don't eat meat as much, you realise you don't need it as much.
Yeah. There's many options.
But it's kind of difficult when you're on the road for 10 months of the year and you're in a van. And there's nothing to eat but McDonald's. The vegetarian menu isn't that great, you know. Fish, I do like fish, but at the same time, a lot of fish ain't that great either. Fish is equally as crappy. Like a lot of places in America, I find serve tilapia, and tilapia is the equivalent of a McDonald's burger when it comes to the fish world. You know, so it's catch-22. You're better off trying to avoid it most of the time. Today, though, I'm going to make meat for you, even though we're dissing it.
It's alright.
But Doherty's Mince is probably better, because anytime I put a photograph of making stew up on my Facebook, so my friends at home, they're like, did you use Doherty's Mince? And I was like, no, I didn't use Doherty's Mince. Doherty's Mince is a very famous butcher's back in Derry, where I'm from. And all they have is mince and sausages, and they're the best things ever, but so bad for you. Everything good is bad for you. So what you do is you make small meatballs with your mince. That's simple.
That's about a right size ball. Go ahead. Cough. We don't have an interview.
We're going to put them into the gravy. Most of the time you would have to brown the meat off, but with the stew, you just put it on and let it cook through. My dad used to work in a butcher's. My whole family worked in a slaughterhouse actually. So I grew up with like half a cow lying on the kitchen table when I was younger and stuff like that there. So it's not a really big deal for me to use or handle meat. Some people freak out with me. They're like, oh, no, I'm not touching that. When I used to charter my boat, I had a fishing boat in Ireland, and I still have the same boat. And I used to take charter trips out. And if people wanted to go fishing with me, I had no problem in doing it. But if they didn't want to kill the fish, they weren't allowed to fish on the boat. So people used to be paying me to take them out. And what they would do is they would like catch a fish and then scream and go, ah, take it off. And I'd be like, nah, you take it off. And if they didn't take it off, well, I took the rod off them.
Nice.
They can't do it.
Has to be done. It has to be done.
Fair is fair. So what's your favorite thing being on the cruise so far? Apart from me.
Alcohol.
The sun.
So nice.
We've been lucky with the sun. The week before we got here, there was a storm coming from Boston direction, and it actually hit here for the first 3 days. I was like, this isn't going to be good. They had it up on there's a website called surfline.com, and on Surfline it tells you all the storms and what's happening in the ocean. And the main header was huge storm to hit Caribbean. This was last week, and I just started laughing, thinking, oh, no. It's true. If you go down, you go down happy. Would you go down happy?
No, I didn't get paid yet.
It's all right. We've got our stock going here. What also we have is a bit of black pepper.
Doesn't it?
A wee bit of black pepper.
You made that look very skillful.
Did I?
Yeah, but I just grabbed a fist of it and just lobbed it in.
Lob it on.
Yeah.
We are actually going to put this recipe up on the Celtic Thunder website. It's kind of funny, but you know when you miss sometimes you miss cooking from home. Whenever just gonna use this here. Whenever I cooked stew this summer, it was about 40 degrees Celsius in LA. And I was so excited I ate the whole pot in like 2 days. Because it's just like home cooking, you know? So,
What was the question? A Keith Harkin cookbook.
a Keith Harkin cookbook, you know what, it's actually a merchandise if you like to purchase it right now.
It's just 100 pages of stew.
Shrimp stew, beef stew, stew and tomatoes, stew. That's about all stew you can get. I'm just going to pour this in here now because that's starting to all go.
Ah, that's the magic. But let you listen to it.
I would love to make a cookbook. The only trick is with a cookbook, as you can see, I'm not the kind of person who does measures all that well. So what I would actually have to do is spend like a month and actually sit and cook everything and write down and record. Yeah, I know, but it's not really, is it? It sadly doesn't work like a dash like this and a dash like that.
Yeah, it's like a DIY book. Have you ever tried to build anything from a DIY book? You're like, that's not a birdhouse, that's...
What was that?
But yeah, but I would love to do a cookbook. I've thought about it a few times and
Keith, sorry, what did you just put in there?
I'm gonna salt.
Bit of salt.
Good for the heart. We're supposed to have potatoes up here too, but we don't. So what I'm also going to throw in here is the beef cubes. Well, it's not, we're fancy, we're on a boat. Normally I wouldn't put this in here, but here we go.
Oh, looks good.
I'm going to add some more water then at the end when we get this all cooked down. So does any of you guys got any more questions for me here?
Cooking questions.
This man here, he'll give the mic.
Put your hand up if you have a question.
Cooking question. So,
Keep it clean.
No?
question.
Where did you get your baseball cap?
I'll give you a clue, it's got a P on it. Philadelphia over there.
What's your question?
Another Phillies hat.
Do you want me to give that to Keith? Alright.
Thank you very much.
Got another one there, Keith. There you go.
Can't have enough for Phillies
I'll
hats.
leave it over here. There you go. Hold it
Did
up
anybody
there.
see Did anyone see the dancers yesterday? About 1 o'clock. Somebody stole one of the dancers' hats.
Yeah, right from the pool. From the pool. We all jumped in the pool, and by the time we had submerged, someone had taken the hat.
And one of you guys out there stole a hat. Give it back, huh?
And the funny thing is, his name is sewn into the back of it. Oh, I think we have a question over here. Hang on a second. What's your question? I don't think it's for sale. She wants to know how much you want for the hat. Because her name is Peggy and she
This
likes
hat's
it.
not for sale, Piggy. It's a
not.
magic hat.
Really is. You'll take the apron. You know what? I have one here.
There you go.
Oh my God.
That's for
Here's
you.
one we made earlier.
I have the underwear to match, but I need those.
Can't take the knickers off a bare arse.
Hang on a second. What's your question?
Have I looked at my apron? Yes.
Yes.
I'm very secure in my sexuality.
Very nice. What's your question, miss? Do you cook for the lads on the road?
I do cook for the boys on the road, yes.
Do you all like it?
They do like it. Yeah, I have a crock pot on the tour bus. I'm just gonna add some more water here. I have a crock pot on the tour bus, and same sort of cooking. I'll cook whatever, some sort of stew. Who asked me that question? Some sort of stew or soups or something like that there. And normally, if there's a hangover day or a night before,
So every day he makes stew.
stews, soups, vegetarian stew.
What about the hangover day?
What's that?
Just soup.
My parents' soap business is going fantastically. They
Good.
basically my dad looks like Mr. White out of Breaking Bad. He's like I went into the kitchen. My mom and dad just started their own soap company. And every time I was home about 2 months ago, and it's basically like a crack den. My whole house, they're just cooking stuff in the kitchen. My dad stands with like yellow gloves on, the goggles, but it's awesome. It's all completely homemade, all natural soaps. They collect all the seaweed from the beach down beside our house. They dry it over the fireplace in the kitchen. My dad grows all the mints and all the different sort of vegetables or herbs that he can for the soaps. So they make all that, and it's going cool. I never actually thought the soap would be good. I'm not going to say it, but my mum was like, "Try the soap." I was like, "All right, I'll try the soap." And now I can't really not do anything with it. The soap is awesome. Everybody I give it to as well. They love the stuff. You know.
Another question, this lady right here.
Atlantic lobster. Do you know what? I'm not a massive fan of lobster. I'm not going to lie. No, I think Dungeness crab is nicer. The cheaper version of the crab is nicer than lobster. Lobster's a bit too tough for my liking. Not yours. Well, I'm from Ireland. We're in the Atlantic as well. We have an Atlantic lobster there as well. You know, but I think the crab's nicer. You know, personally speaking, the crab's toes. My favorite food that I like to cook. Stew. Again, honestly, I do like cooking because I live on a boat, and because I live on a boat, there's only 2 rings on the boat and an oven. So there's most things I have to just do in 1 or 2 pots, or else I'm like lifting and putting the pot over here. So basically anything that's only 1 pot, like a crock pot kind of food, I think is the nicest kind of food. Also, I think with this kind of food, it's more communal. Everybody put the big pot on the table and everybody eats out of the 1 pot. I don't know, it's just more homely for me. Anyway. I like your t-shirt, by the way.
Matches mine. Who does your grocery shopping?
Me. I haven't got a personal assistant yet.
I'm just kind of hoping my audition has gone well.
No, I do all my own shopping. Trader Joe's is my sort of stop. I don't like going to Whole Foods because I think Whole Foods is just a whole facade. I think it's too expensive, and a lot of their fruit and veg, personally, anything I've eaten there is like just goes off within a day or 2. So I don't know. I think Whole Foods is like a phase that people sort of pass by. That's too expensive. Where do I do it? When do I shop? Whenever, anytime I'm home. You know, I don't really eat out much at all when I'm home. I'd rather cook because you eat out so much when you're on the road. It kind of loses. Eating out's just like, it's not a big thing. So I like to cook more when I go home than eat out all the time. Even when you can eat out all the time, you just eat all the time. Sometimes you just want to have something to make yourself, you know.
Keith, do you make desserts?
What about her? No, the peas from Philadelphia. I do have a dog called Pixie, yes. It's a Yorkshire Terrier.
Keith, we have a lady over here. What's your favourite dessert?
Banoffee pie.
What's that?
Banoffee pie, you don't see it much in America actually. Banoffee pie is basically a crushed digestive, so like the base of a cheesecake. And what you do is you get condensed milk, some sugar, reduce it down, and it brings it into like a toffee state. You pour it over the patted base, chop up some banana, grate some chocolate over the top of it, a bit of honey. Oh!
Wow.
So Keith,